Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going fantastic. And your journey to self-betterment is going better than fantastic. Today, I want to talk about something very, very important. And it's something we briefly touched on the other day. And that's why narcissists ruin the family or having a healthy family unit. And why they seemingly ruin nearly most things they touch in their lives. And first I want to say, thank you for all of your comments on the last video. And there was one commenter that said that narcissists are cursed. Now regardless if you believe in curses or not, ask yourself, what is this belief? The belief of what curses do. They get passed down from one person or family member to the next. Well, narcissists love to spread the dysfunction of who and what they are onto those that might have a shot at a normal life. But something even more devastating happens. Especially if this narcissist over here, and that narcissist over there ends up in a field where they can have a great influence over others. Because that same mentality of putting that curse of narcissism on others, such as a family member or so-called friend, they try to put it upon millions of people they have never met. Simply by producing content that might sway impressionable people to think in a certain way. Because here's the thing. Narcissists deep down inside can't stand themselves. They really can't. And when they see someone that is smiling, happy, that enjoys helping others, someone that would give the shirt off of their back to help someone in need, they see that and it drives them crazy to know that someone really has a deep love for others. And that this same person can also receive love from others. This is very important. Because you see, when someone tries to love a narcissist, the narcissist doesn't get the same feeling that someone like you or I, where we might feel happy and even thankful. The narcissist feels contempt for this person that is trying to love them. Because the narcissist knows what and exactly they are. And they know what evil they are capable of. And they have no ability to accept and even feel the love given to them by others. And when they see you can accept and receive such love, it bothers the narcissist to no end. And when they see people like this, people that can give love and receive love, they seek out to not only ruin this person's life, but to ruin this person's ability to give and receive love. And then we look at things like the family, or the family unit or family structure. It's pretty easy and plain to see there are a lot of problems. Yet those that might be able to make a change don't. They don't even in most cases acknowledge there is even a problem. Because here's the thing. If the problem is acknowledged, then one needs to find a solution. And that's what narcissists don't want for the problems they tend to cause. And that's a real deal solution. Because though this problem is rarely acknowledged, the few fleeting times that it is acknowledged, the topic is danced around, so to speak. As if to shrug their shoulders and say, we just have no idea as to why this is going on. Which is a big gaslight. Because most people can see what's going on if they really took the time to look at it with a clear eye. And that's why the gaslight takes place, so people can't look at it with a clear eye. It's simple. People imitate many things they see, even when they are adults. And if more content was produced on how to not get divorced and how to treat each other with love and decency, and how to love your family, don't you think that people would imitate that? Remember when I've talked about that covert narcissist coworker that might work with your spouse? That slowly starts planting the seeds of doubt in your spouse's mind about you. And little by little they start to make going out and running around doing things that aren't so good, let's say if you are in a committed relationship, look good. And before you know it, your spouse changes into a completely different person than what you have known for years. And you are losing your family in the process. How many of you have had this happen to you or have seen it happen to others? Well, narcissism on a bigger scale of life is the same exact thing. It's just on a bigger scale involving more people. You see, when your spouse was working with this covert narcissist, this covert narcissist could see that they really loved you and that you loved your spouse. And as I stated at the beginning of this video, narcissists can't give nor can they genuinely receive love. And when they see that your spouse can and that you can, they have a burning need to ruin your relationship. And not only do that, but ruin yours and your spouse's life. Now, what do you think this covert narcissist would do if they all of a sudden made it to a producer level of making content such as movies and or television shows and commercials? That's right. They would inject their narcissism more than likely into this content that would plant the seeds of doubt into your mind and the minds of those that you might love and people you haven't even met yet. Just so it might increase the chances of such relationships failing, breaking up, and making it so your son or daughter will now have this dysfunction in their life. So they might either grow up to be a codependent people pleaser, which is the narcissist's favorite source of narcissistic supply, or they might grow up to be just like them, a narcissist. And that will bring an evil grin and smile to their face. If they can take from your son or daughter the protection of you, a loving parent that intended to steer them down the path of becoming decent human beings. You see, it's not that hard to see what is happening. And it's really not hard to fix these problems if people wanted to fix them. You see, growing up, I couldn't understand why my mother did things to intentionally bring my family's life into chaos. Chaos that at the end of the day actually made my mother's life more difficult. I used to beg my mother, please help my brother and I. Because putting effort into my life and my brother's life would benefit all of us. We could then turn back around and help my mother. But that wasn't my mother's goal. Even if it meant her life would be a mess as a result of her bad life and family choices. Yes. Narcissists though will do what they can to take care of themselves while throwing others in bad life spots. Narcissists will also throw themselves into these same bad life spots if that means it will ruin you and your family's lives. And now looking back, it makes sense why my reasoning never got through to my mother. Because it never would have gotten through to my mother. Because her goal was to see mine and my brother's life to become an utter and complete mess. Now think about those that put out content that encourages broken homes and families. What do you think they think and they feel when they see the end result? Where divorces are at an all-time high. And those in the business of divorce are getting rich while the sons and daughters that are a part of this divorce lose their future inheritance. But just like with most problems narcissists are a part of, there is magically no answer or solution. Though you can see the solution very crystal clear. Make marriage, divorce, and family court less about money and more about the success of the family. Make it so healthy-minded people are no longer scared to get married and have a family. And though that sounds really simplistic, that's the answer. And though narcissism would still be there, you would see it little by little start to fade from being a normal and accepted behavior in society. Because you would have more people that want to have a family giving it a real try. And if they accidentally chose a toxic person, they know they can leave without losing their shirt. Think about the church. More and more people that really want to worship God don't go to church anymore. And the reason why is they've stated that each year they see the narcissism in the church grow and grow. Because those they believe that are narcissists are able to move up within the ranks at their church to where nearly everything is one big gaslight or projection. And they realize it's not worth it. So they walk away. So what happens? More narcissists gain control and power. You see, narcissists are very skilled at rooting out those that can speak up about the truth and be believed. From the moment they shook your hand and smiled and said how nice it was to meet you, they were already planning on how they could turn others against you. So now you have all of these people believing a lie. Run you out of a church that you've belonged to for decades, and this new person only has been there for barely a blink of an eye. And guess what? 9 times out of 10 the narcissist is successful. So you have the church, marriage, the family, your job, as places where narcissists write the rules. And decent healthy-minded people have no voice. Though not everyone likes their job. There was a time where some people actually did. They liked putting in a good day's work. They liked the people that they worked with. But now, if you ask most people if they really truly honestly like their job, I think you would find if they were being honest, most don't like their job. And they will usually say, it's not the job itself. It's the people at the job. That answer is now getting to be normal place. And guess what? That problem could be fixed tomorrow. But those that run such companies likely don't want these problems fixed. Because it possibly allows them to frustrate those that are earning too much and quit on their own accord. So they can then hire someone at half the rate of pay. And those that grew up in homes with a narcissist parent or parents noticed this change in how things were starting to be done at a great many jobs. There was a lot of fake and phony good times, where you had to pretend to enjoy whatever so-called fun event they were planning. And then soon after they would implement a new policy or work procedure that would make your day at work more difficult for what appeared to be for no reason at all. It even might have seemed to not be a cost savings to make such a change. However, if you and the rest of the high-earning people there got frustrated and left, and your former company could hire replacements paying them a lot less than they paid you, don't you think that would be a savings? I'm just a cartoon man asking a simple question. And you also noticed more and more really cool managers or high-up bosses would suddenly leave or transition elsewhere. And what you were left with was a bunch of toxic people for bosses and managers. People that would pretend to be nice to your face. But behind closed doors they were plotting to get you written up or fired. Again. It seems most places narcissists go they find a way to ruin it for you and for me. Even if it also costs them in the process of doing what it is they are doing. Ask yourself a question. If more and more information and education about narcissism was talked about, along with fixing the family court and divorce and marriage laws, how long do you think it would be before narcissism would start to shrink in our society? I think within 5 years you would see a big difference. Because when you have a healthy family you are now giving a very strong and powerful platform for your sons and daughters to jump off of. And so they can become successful in their own life. And what will happen if there are more sons and daughters doing that? That's right. You would have these people the ones running companies, making movies and television shows and commercials. And the content they would likely be producing would be content that might help you have a better life yourself. Not content to confuse you and lead you down a path in your life where you end up ruining your chances at happiness. You see, love is important. And narcissists don't have love to give or the ability to receive love. And they spend their entire life making it hard for everyone they can to be in the same boat that they are in. It just so happens that some of these narcissists can only affect the few people that are around them in their daily lives. But then you have those that can affect millions of people that they will never even meet. Now why is this so important? Well, normally when you are dealing with a narcissist in your personal life, it's best to go gray rock and back away slowly. But if you can, even if it means writing a simple blog, possibly tell your story if you are comfortable doing so. Because you just don't know who it will positively affect and help. And you don't know. It might help someone that can affect change. Here's the thing. You don't even have to mention narcissism to say the family court system has got more than a ton of problems. And these problems need to be fixed as soon as possible. So we can have a generation of healthy, productive people that haven't been ruined because of such mess. And I think that's where it starts. Because if you've gone through such a system, you have a high chance of either being the people pleaser codependent, or a shark of a narcissist. And it's the shark of a narcissist that you will be reporting to at work. Or they will be the one that will make the nice boss that you are reporting to leave. But with more people that have the ability to give love and receive love, you will have less narcissism and broken people in the world. And more people with their minds right and with good healthy self-love. And good and healthy love to share with the rest of the world. Well, that's all I have for now. I do believe this is a topic we need to talk more about because it's very important. Love is very important. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.